we'll do our quad stretch, so practicing a balance. So feeling grounding of both feet, soles of the feet, all four corners touching. And then you're going to bring your hands to your hips and lift the left foot, and hold, left hand holds the top of the left foot, and you want your knee pointing directly down, have the thighs parallel, and then squeeze the heel towards your bottom, keep your chest lifting, and then gently squeeze your glutes, press your hips slightly forward. Of course, you can hold on to something if that helps, but we're helping build strength through the standing leg as well. And press the hand into the foot so that it's the opposite action rather than pulling the foot towards your heel, your bottom. And then don't just release to the floor. You're going to keep the foot floating. Bring your left hand to your hip. So this is hamstring curl. Ooh. And then release down. Holding the floorboards. Okay, other side. So lift your chest, shoulders relaxed, bending, right leg, hold on to the right hand, hold on to the foot. Knee pointing down to the ground. So keep the core engaged, chest lifting, shoulders relaxed. Gently squeeze the glutes so the hips press forward a little. Your foot should feel more the front of the hip flexor as well as the around the knee. Pulling the heel towards your bottom and then push the foot into your hand. And then squeeze your hamstrings, bring right hand to hip, and then release that leg down. We'll just meet you. Okay, from the front of the mat, take your feet to the outer edges of the mat. It's not as wide as just your mat width apart, feet are parallel. And then bring your hands to your hips, lift your chest, so squeeze your shins and thighs towards each other, feel the pelvic floor lift. Lift your chest, start to look up. So really pulling up through the pelvic floor, the navel draws towards the spine. Then clasp your hands behind you, push your fists away and start to curl or bend to look up. Pushing the fist down, drawing the shoulder blades together. And then inhale, coming up. We're going to, from the front of the mat, bring your feet parallel, hip distance apart, bending down, fingertips either side of your feet. Take the left foot back and drop the left knee down, low lunge. Keep the left toes tucked under. Okay, and then we're going to come up, sink the hips, bring the arms up, and then take your right hand takes hold of your left wrist. So keep sinking the hips and then drawing the left arm over to the right, but you want to make sure you're rolling the right side of the ribs forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, place the left palm down under the left shoulder. Keep sinking your hips, and then we're going to twist up. So squeeze your core, reach your chest forward, press down through the palm, reach the right arm up. You can either stay like this, or if you want to bend the right elbow and bring the back of the hand around your side ribs. Either way, helping to draw the shoulder blades towards each other, look up, shoulders away from ears. Then exhale, hands down, fit up onto your fingertips. lift up into runner's lunge. So squeeze the back knee up, reach the chest forward, and then step left foot next to right. Forward fold. So lifting up through the thighs. You can keep them a little bit bent if you need to be able to reach your fingertips to the mat. Relax your head. Trying to suck the core in, draw the navel up and in. And then inhale. Straight arms. Taking the right foot back, coming into low lunge. So drop the right knee to the mat, keep the right toes tucked under. Come up, sink the hips. Bring your arms up. Left hand takes hold of right wrist. Straighten up through the arms. Keep sinking the hips and then leaning over. So pulling the right arm across, and the same thing, trying to keep the shoulders stacked as you lean over. So rolling the left side of the ribs slightly forward. And then exhale, fingertips down. Squeeze the back thigh, so come into runner's lunge, left knee over left ankle. Lift up through that back thigh, you're up on the right toes, reach the chest forward. And then exhale, bring the right foot forward. Again, forward folding. So rather than just feeling coming down, we're kind of coming up. So fingertips stay on the mat. And then just trying to squeeze the core so the chest comes towards your thighs, and you can keep your knees as bent as they need to be. Relax your head. I went for a run with Annie yesterday. I can feel my hamstrings quivering. Okay, then inhale, come to halfway lift. Keep your fingertips on the ground. So again, if you still need to keep the knees bent, but flat back, draw the shoulder blades down your back. And then walk your feet again to the width of the mat. Lift up through the thighs, so really feel you're squeezing your kneecaps up. Bring the right palm, and if you need the block, if that helps, right palm under your face. Lift up through the thighs, revolve. So squeeze your core, trying to lift up. So as you press down through the right palm, lift up through the left fingertips. Looking up, it's almost like you're looking at the corner of your eyes, looking up towards that hand. Exhale, bring the left palm down to the block. So making sure here, so when we're exercising or doing running, it does impact the back a lot. So we're trying to loosen the shoulders and lengthen the spine, and particularly we get stiff through the lower back as well. So keep the thighs lifting up, press down through the left palm, reach the right hand up. So try not to rock through the hips, keep the hips level. Keep breathing, keep length in the spine. So reach, as you tip the tailbone up, reach through the crown of the head. And then exhale, bring both fingertips down. Keep lifting up, tailbone, folding, relax the head down, squeeze your core, trying to draw your chest between your thighs. Doesn't need to go there, it's the action of. Okay, and then halfway lift, reach forward, you can keep the knees slightly bent. And then bring your feet together or near each other, and then we can bend the knees and sit down. And you might want, we'll keep your block with you and or a rolled up or a towel beside you. Okay, so firstly we're going to come into butterfly, Baddha Konasana. So you might want to be up on the block or a rolled up towel if your hamstrings are a bit tight. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and draw the heels towards your bottom, and then take your hands behind you. So you just have the hands wherever feels comfortable, as in the fingers can be pointing out to the side. And then you want to press your hips forward, push the soles of your feet into each other. So you're pushing out towards the knees, lift your chest. So straight arms. So you should feel as much pressure through the arms as you do through the thighs. Squeezing the core. You're trying to stick your bottom out. So rather than tucking the tailbone under, it's pressing the hips forward, tailbone going back. Push out through the knees. Okay, and then walking the hands back up. You can come off the block, straighten your legs. Bring right leg. So right leg over left, making sure, so the left leg stays straight but strong. So push through the heel, press the back of the thigh down. Place the sole of the right foot down. Try not to have it rolling onto its side. If you can, you're trying to press down through all four corners of that foot. Bring your hands beside you, lift up through your chest. And then you're going to take the left arm, and there are two versions. The easier modification is to just bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Lift up and revolve. So you can take that right hand where it feels good. Revolving. If you want to deepen it a little, you'll bring the left arm up and then drop the elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Again, squeeze your core, lift up, and we're trying to try not to lean back, so trying to keep those shoulders above the hips. Squeeze your core, revolve. You can soften that right arm so you can keep the shoulder away from the ear. Keep length and strength in the straight leg. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, straighten both legs. Other side. So right leg strong, left sole of the left foot pressing down on the outside of the right leg. Lift up through your thigh, left hand behind you. So take your modification, whichever you feel works for you today. It doesn't matter if it's different on either side. So squeezing the tricep into the left thigh, lift your chest. So again here, try not to lean back. So trying to keep the thigh quite close to the chest. Revolve. You also want to keep length in the cervical vertebrae, so making sure keeping that left shoulder away. Squeeze your core. And then inhale, back to center. Exhale, release. And then take your block or a book or a rolled up towel or rolled up mat even behind you. And you want the block, so we're going to have it on level 1. If you've done this before and you'll supple through the upper back, then you can take it to level 2, but I suggest we start on level 1. And then you want the block just by the top of the block, just above the bottom of your shoulder blades. And then bend your knees, clasp your hands together behind your head and lower yourself, or you can use your arms if you need to. So hands behind your head, you're trying to drape yourself over the block. Take your feet a little wider, knock your knees together. And it doesn't matter if your elbows aren't reaching the ground. Oh, it's quite hard to talk down here. So I'll sit up, you carry on. So we're trying to feel the drawing of the arms open, the elbows coming down towards the mat, trying to relax across the block. If the block's too high, then just try rolling up your towel. It's a lot more forgiving. You're going to settle into this for a minute. So breath coming easily, just letting that sensation of the inhale and the exhale giving length through the spine. If it's feeling good, you can, your decision, but if you like to straighten your legs, but keep the legs active, so you'd flex at the ankles, push through the heels, and feeling the internal rotation of the thighs, so the knees and feet pointing up. So mobility through the spine and the upper back is helping that when you're running, it's to more fluid motion and to activate the core to protect the spine. So you don't want this kind of rolling motion with the, you can't see what you're down there, but I'm flopping my hands from side to side when you're running. So it's to keep strength through the core, and that also helps with endurance. Okay, then bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet back onto the mat. Engage your core and then just roll off your block or towel, just roll to the side and come up. Oh, sorry, it's not come up to sit, it's, sorry. Lying back, bend your knees. And then you're going to hug your knees in. So just have both palms on the top of the knees and then draw your knees wide. So you're resting, obviously the whole length of the spine on the mat, drawing the knees to the side of your ribs, so feeling that compression through the upper thigh. Draw the tailbone towards the end of your mat so you can feel, or the top of your mat so you can feel length in your spine. And then coming into bridge, you're going to place your feet down. So you want your heels where you can almost touch them, they're not too close to your bottom. Thighs are parallel. Inhale, lower back draws down towards the mat. Peel your hips up. And then clasp your hands underneath. And rocking side to side just to roll the tops of the arms under. Press your hands, push your hands towards your heels. Press down through the soles of the feet. Gently squeezing the glutes, don't let the knees roll out. And then exhale, lowering the hips down, release the arms. Take your arms wide, palms down, hands at shoulder height. And then take your feet wide to the edges of the mat. Drop the knees to the left. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale to the right. Inhale, lift, and hug your knees in. You're going to rock to sit. So do it 3 times. Roll on the spine, use your core, and sit. Close your eyes, rest your hands on your thighs, sit nice and tall. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center, lowering your head and opening your eyes. Namaste, friends.